Ride through the city like Brennan Shaw. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Shaw. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Shaw.
We're live. We'll do it live. F it. We'll do it live. What's up, fam? June 23rd, 11 a.m. on the dot. We don't do things around here late. We don't do it late. Open up a fresh little. We got here C4 Jolly Rancher Peach. God, I'm at a Jolly Rancher in a hot second because my teeth are bad. Not mad at it. Not mad at it. Boy, I can't be drinking all these fluids or I'm going to be peeing every 2 seconds. Got my large Diet Coke. Dude, we are locked in. We are locked in. What's up, brownies? What's going on? How we doing? Trent says, happy Tuesday, Big Brown Breakdown crew. Scotty Smack, we in this thing. We are. Slow Fit, let's get it, boys. And Gemma, that's right, we got one girl. What up, what up? What up? Gemma girl, what up? Where's Black Ross? What's up, fam? How's everybody doing today, man? You guys good? I don't know what emoji that is. GK go, go, go. What up? What up, DJ? D Jambo. That fool Chris says, hey, yo. What's going on, fam? D Jambo. Are we late today? Hell nah. We're right on time, kids. It's 11:02. We started at 11 a.m. on the dot. On the dot. Scotty Smack says, I'm already locked in to being at the Conor fight because I spent my friggin' mortgage on a ticket. Next time, though, I'm flying to Texas watching it with the OG Brownie. Diet Coke's on me, son. Let's do it, bud. How much did you pay for those tickets, big dog? Drew from Palm Springs. It has to be hot out there, man. Ortega says, what you drinking in that 50-ounce cup? Diet Coke, man. You know I'm sober, baby. I did have my first non-alcoholic beer the other day, though. It was fantastic. Slow Fit, your girl do Taco Tuesday? Nah, man, that's just a normal freaking Tuesday in our house. Correct, Andrew. Brendan is punctual, not like Callan. I've never seen Callan be on time. I'm not even mad at him for it anymore. It's just his thing. Shane Sun says, are you going to get your boys in Little League World Series when they're older? If they're good enough, hopefully they are. Trent says, Brendan, a world of what if Conor wins against Max and Machado beats Islam. Do we want to see Conor versus Gaethje for the title still? Or do we want to see Conor versus Ian for the title? I would rather do Conor Gaethje. Conor Ian, though, if they did that in Ireland, would be nutsos. Nutsos. That Ian Islam Makhachev fight's going to be closer than y'all think. Narazo says, just told my kids to beat it and turned off Mrs. Rachel again. Turn on BBB. Yeah, Miss Rachel, dude. Drew Casablanca, B, you sound sick. No, dude, allergies. My allergies are kicking like karate, man. Kicking like Wonderboy Thompson. My allergies are kicking like Wonderboy. Not sick, though, man. Captain says, do you hear about the shooting in Montreal? No. No, they be shooting in Canada
everywhere
now.
now,
How's the
dude.
world coming to? Slow Fit, did you hear Ian Gary interview with Ariel? Got me all hyped up for the fight. Pretty sure Islam wipes the floor with him. Islam's a monster. I didn't hear it. No, I usually, I didn't see that. 209 Jiu-Jitsu, if the short's getting shorter live, will be X-rated. I know, dude. They're actually not that short. When I sit down, my freaking thighs be popping. Drew Casablanca, hey, how was fishing with David Lucas? Why was it so short? Did you have to edit? No, he told me he only goes 30 minutes. David was super hot. We did it like in the middle of the day. I was fine. I'm not mad at the heat. But yeah, David Lucas, he was sweating his ass off out there. Scott says, working the hot BC sun. Listen to Big Brown. It's good Tuesday. Yes, sir. Watching and working under this coach is not easy. GK, go, go, go. Have you forgiven the child that lost you the game by freaking loaf into third? Yeah, they're 6. You know, I talked to the parents too, and just said, you know, it's not even about losing this game. It's about making himself proud. You know, you let down the team, and the other thing is like as you move on to higher levels, buddy, one of the key markers scouts, high school coaches look for is kids, you know, hustling across the base. So if you're not doing it at 6, you should probably go cut oranges with the boys. W. Brooks says, why doesn't anyone talk about Usman getting stem cells in his knees a bunch of times since the first time he went on Rogan? Usman says his knees hardly bother him now. Yeah, there's this narrative on Usman that his knees are always bad. Like, they've been bad since he's been in the UFC. But he's gotten it fixed. He's a monster, dude. Monster. Ryan Byting says, Dustin's innocent. Yeah, Dustin, he got a DUI, yeah? Mm-hmm. Dustin's such a good person. I don't know. You know, accidents happen. I didn't like the Colby Covington thing, calling him out, shit like that. That's like, you're never gonna fight, dude. Why call him out? Who knows what happened with it? Sunrise Sports Card says Kobe quick to make the video because he got no family to hang with on Father's Day. Yeah. Scott Dobson says, started my 9-year-old in baseball finally. Any recommendation on a decent starter bat? I like all the Louisville Sluggers. Easton, you know, the Hype Fires, stuff like that. They might be a little heavy since he's just starting out. All my kids use a lot of the Hype Fires. That's kind of the craze right now. Also, don't get them a crazy looking bat off the start, you know? Let them earn that stuff. Charles, dude said he paid $2,300 for those tickets. I'm not even on lower level. Wow. Yeah, but it's a once in a lifetime thing, you know? Once in a lifetime. Maria G says, no, drunk in public. Oh, you got arrested for being drunk in public? Charles Dillahunt, Shab, what's good, dude? Am I silly for putting 100 on Connor? No, I'm not mad at it. Petch Martinez, what up? Brendan Hart is strong in that BPC. Yeah, true. Andrew Ortega says, why do you think Connor's fight is at 170? I feel like that extra weight's going to have a bigger effect than people think. Dude, I think the cut to 170 is going to be challenging for him. He's been out so long, and he's obviously been on that acai made in the lab, so he's a thick kid right now. So I think 170 is going to be tough. 55, I don't know what he's going to do if they were to give him that Gaethje fight. Damn, Stevie G. Rodriguez on a construction site. Good luck, brother. Chris Lamb says, TRX or Raptor R? I'm a TRX guy. I'm a Mopar guy. That Raptor R, though, that's basically the same engine as the GT500. Those things are super spicy, and you don't see a ton of them. You see a ton of Raptors, you see a ton of TRXs. I like the Raptor R. They're just so damn expensive. If you give me a used TRX for 65 grand and I put 20 grand in that thing, I'll cook that Raptor R. But those Raptor Rs are so dope. Agree, Amp. 0 point on making fun of Dustin for getting a DUI. Dice Game Network, you watching the new House of Dragon? Yeah, that episode was lit. I've been so tired because my baby's not sleeping. I fell asleep and I woke up to the battle. I got to rewatch it. Lame. Stevie Davies says, someone the other day said they were unable to watch it live in the UK. It's absolutely fine on my YouTube. No problem whatsoever. It must be an issue on his side. Loving these new live chats. Thanks, brother. ALC, work on any big truck builds. Also, I think next 4th they do the UFC at the Mount Rushmore in the background. That'd be sick. Yeah, I just got my Cummins 2500 back. Bigger turbo, fast fuel system set up, fully deleted, tuned. Randy's transmission, stage 3 transmission, you know, because those 68 RFEs have issues. It's cooking. I literally got it back. I got it back at 10:30 and drove straight here, so I haven't had to mess around with it. But the Cummins, since it's 6-cylinder, I'm just used to 8 cylinders, man. It's hard for me to get down with the 6. But I haven't had a Cummins, so we'll see how it goes. I think I need compound turbos. This is boring if you're not a truck person, so I'm sorry. Patrick Martinez says, what is the difference between Ilya not having sight in one eye and wanting to continue and Aspinall still no word on return? Ilya's was due to swelling and eye orbital fractured and all the swelling that caused. Aspinall was due to retina and scratching the eyeball. So it'd be two completely different things. Soul Fit says, what up, Gemma? Black Ross squad is here. That's right. You guys are the original. Original meaning 2 weeks old. A lot of car questions. I'll take it, though. B, have you seen the rendering for the new Dodge Copperhead? Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do it, though. Drew Casablanca, B, have you got your kids an electric dirt bike yet? I'm debating on giving my 7-year-old a small one. If they're 7, I'm down for it. Here's my thing. I got rid of their ATVs. I got rid of their electric scooters because when I was a kid, do you ever remember getting tired as a kid? Like, I could run forever. In the summer, I was running from 7 a.m. to 8 o'clock at night. I could have played 19 ball games in a row. None of it matters. As long as you gave me a hot Fresca or a Mountain Dew, your boy was good to run. I feel like kids are losing their endurance because they're not pedaling on bikes. So I have my kids pedaling on their bikes everywhere. That's where I got my endurance. But everything's electric and gas-powered these days. No one say anything about Dustin's mugshot? That's from Gemma Girl. Let's see that mugshot. Is it bad? Is it not good?
It's not like crazy.
Dude, if you're going to do a mugshot, like if I got arrested, God forbid, that mugshot better be sexy, dude. It has to be one of those dope mug. Okay. He looks super sad, and his ears are out of control. Yeah, it's a tough one. He's still a dime, though, but he looks like he's been crying. I get it. Charles Delahunt says, can we get any insight into what you plan on doing live during the Holloway McGregor? You're looking at it, brother. You're looking at probably mute commentary to chat with the gang here. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm down for that, brother. Any other ideas you guys have, but let's plan on doing it. Scotty Smack, similar in age, looking for a similar build. What's your peptide mix? BBC 157, IGF-1 long at night, small doses of TRT, and glutathione for my really for my liver and for inflammation, stuff like that. Captain 420, how's Brian doing? Is he still kidnapped in Mexico? Brian is shooting a pilot right now out here in Austin, so that's why there's no Firing the Kid this week. Amp31 says that's a legit mess for Aspinall. Yeah, and the other thing is, did you hear Dana's comments at that press conference when they asked him about Aspinall? He goes, I'm not going to talk about that, and then went bad on Eddie Hearn. It's just like, you don't want to talk about your heavyweight champ? Dude, they're so far away from getting a fight. That's why you got to hope Hunter Campbell steps in and gets that deal done. GK Go, thanks for asking about the truck, man. It's fixed. I live like 10 minutes away, so they dropped it off 30 minutes before we went live, and I drove it here. It feels different. Again, that 6-cylinder, it's tough to get those things freaking rolling, man. ALC says, Cummins will treat you right. You can do a lot with it and reliable. They're super reliable. It's just that 6-cylinder. It's hard to get that pop, man. Scott Dobson says, do you think a heavyweight Grand Prix would stimulate, the division? It's just a Grand Prix, I would be all for it. It's just not what the UFC's business model is now, unfortunately. Amp31 says, the Diamond is struggling, a year retired and gets public intoxicated. I don't know if he's struggling. For Dustin, it's for every fighter, every athlete. It's finding your purpose. So once you retire, you had a mission, right? And you had friends and teammates and coaches that would check in on you, and you had something to do every day. And then one day, you wake up, and it's all gone. And you're kind of like, oh, shit, what do I do now? You're basically on summer break for the rest of your life. But he has kids, right, and a wife. He has his hot sauce. I haven't heard much about that lately. You got to find out what your purpose is. And for me, obviously it's this. Thank God I found this. And, I have my hobbies like trucks and bikes and all that. But my purpose, was podcasting and stand-up. So you got to find something to put your energy into. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough road. He'll find it. Mike Street says, took my boys on their first run for Father's Day to my gift to myself. 11-year-old ran a 7.5 minute mile. Oh, we got one. Mario, welcome to the party, bud. Trevor says, I've still yet to go to a live UFC and thinking of going to Conor vs. Max, but it's insanely expensive. $4,800 for the floor seats. You think they would be the best fight to go to for my first one? It'd be a great win. Really great one, because Conor fights are special. You don't need the floor, though, Bubba. Those are actually the worst seats as a fan. You want to be the first level up from the floor, or second level is where you want to be. Eye line with the cage is where you want to be, or up above. The floor kind of sucks, dude. No one's going to tell you that because it's all this money, but... SteeZGs. Does Gable being moved down to the prelims mean anything to you? I see people actually caring about it. Also, do main card fighters get a little increased base pay? Nope. You get no. If you're the main event, you get a little bump every now and then, but no, you don't get an increase if it's just on the main card. I think almost all my fights were on the main card, and then all of mine were shown on TV, but there was no price difference. Sometimes with the discretionary bonuses, depending where you're at in the main card, they give you a little under the table money, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Gable being moved down, I don't know what's up with that. I wonder why they selected to do that. I don't know. I don't mind it. Make him earn it. Make him earn it. You know, he hasn't done shit in MMA. Make him earn it. I'm not mad at it. PDXCB, do you ever wonder if those people riding electric bikes consider that as a workout? I hope not. I hope not. But you got to get your kid off the electric bikes and the electric scooters. Have them riding their bikes like we did. It builds endurance in their legs for sports. Yeah, Amp says, do you see Gable's on the prelims now? Yeah, again, who knows? Sometimes they just announce the card, but the placements isn't solidified, so who knows? I don't think he did anything. I think someone in the UFC was like, dude, this guy hasn't done shit. You got Terrence McKinney coming off all those knockouts. You can put him above him, you know? Gig 16, welcome to the club, big dog. Nirazo says, you guys watching the Mexico Czech game tomorrow night? Yeah, my wife and my mother-in-law is all about it. All about it. I got someone send me an authentic USA jersey. I can't wait to rock that thing. I'm into soccer once every 4 years. Mario, will Ilya ever be the same? Sorry if you already answered this. No. Good question, brother. He just has a lot of work to do. He has a lot of work to do because, you know, he was just beating the shit out of people. And then now he has to answer a few questions. And he's no longer the boogeyman. So guys are going to fight him different. Like the biggest thing Justin did, and he alluded to it in that JRE interview, sit down, was he let people know that Ilya's beatable. And so the next guy he faces, and it's going to be a tough opponent. You know, he's ranked number 1 or 2 now. They're not going to be as scared of him anymore. So that has a lot to do with it. So things are going to be a little different for him. The people saying that he's done and shit like that, I don't buy that. Ilya's so talented. Trent says, B, I'm recovering from my second major shoulder surgery in 9 months. Damn, work-related. I've always lifted before this, but not sure how to get back. Do you have any recommendations? BPC 157, dude. I'll be injecting that stuff like it's my job. Charles, Dana isn't involved in matchmaking anymore, I thought. Surely he doesn't contemplate negotiations, right? I thought he was removed from that. Yeah. I think when it comes to the big boys, he is involved with it. Same way he got Derek Lewis on the UFC fight card. You know? I think with the big dogs, he gets his hands dirty. Hopefully Hunter Campbell overrides a lot of that. Black Ross says the UFC did a tournament one time in the light heavyweight division. Yeah, UFC has done it back in the day. It's just now it's just such a different business model, and they're kind of pleasing the casuals. So you try explaining a tournament to casual, they're not going to keep up with it. SteeZG says, chill, Dustin was just out having fun. Yeah, I assume. I bet he's good. Dustin's a good dude. Great dude. Scotty Smack says, someone call Chandler and beg him to retire. The thing I'm looking forward to the least is how cringy it's going to be if Conor loses and we have to sit through another Chandler call out of him. Yeah, Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. It's easier said than done to tell these guys to stop, though. Think about it. It's scary. What do they do? And where else can they go? You know, they can start a business, but that takes time to build, right? So where else are they going to make? I don't know how much Chandler's making. Let's say $1 million flat. Where else are you going to make $1 million in one night? So it's tough. You know, I don't know his financial situation. It's tough to tell these kids to stop. Charles says he's doing a new podcast and commentary. Doesn't Poirier seems to be crushing. Might just be a mistake. Yeah. That podcast, the Deep Waters one? Is that what you're talking about? Is that a podcast or a show?
It's both.
GK Go-Go, how much sugar are you consuming now? But you could use some for real Diet Cokes and no water, get sodium levels high. Yeah, I hear you, brother. Man, because of my teeth, the sensitivity, because of all the nicotine and just poor care when I was a kid on my teeth, I can't have any sugar. Zero sugar here. Sometimes it'll be like, you know, if I have marinara sauce, if it's in the food, but no. Tomcat MMA, will Usman get a title shot at 85 next if he beats DDP? 1,000%. That's why they're giving it to him. Black Ross says, when Brandon Vera fought Shogun, there was another light heavyweight fight on the same night. Dana said it in pre-fight press conferences that was a tournament, but that's the closest. Yeah. Boy, those were the days. Remember the hype on Brandon Vera? He was such a monster when he came on the scene. Sean Murphy, welcome to the Brownies. Dan K. Cookies, welcome, big dog. Go up? Yeah. Yeah, right here. Scott Dobson says, did you see Jan complain about moving from 4 to 15 in the rankings right before his next fight? Yeah, that sucks. With those rankings, some guys got screwed. Like, did Yair Rodriguez, did he go from rank number 5 to unranked? There's some guys that are just no respect. Bo Nickel moved up. A few guys moved up. A few got screwed.
Jan Blachowicz dropped to number 4. Oh, sorry, from number 4 to number 15.
They put Johnny Walker above Jan. Yeah, it's listen, it's not going to be smooth sailing when they try new stuff out. You know, when they try new stuff out, it's tough. Slowfit says, have you been able to try Trevor's gloves? Really that much more superior? Joe and Justin were glazing over him. Joe's always been glazing over him. I don't think it's the answer that everybody is looking for. I'm down to try a new glove. I like the UFC glove. I think eye pokes, just like groin kicks and shit, it's on the fighters. It's on the individuals. They have to be more disciplined. It's not the glove. It's the fighter. Trust me, guys are still going to get poked in the eye. Like Cyril Gane, if you change his glove, he's still going to poke you in the eye. It's not the fucking glove. It's the fighters. So everyone ranting and raving over these gloves. Great, and I love Trevor, and hopefully it works out. He makes $1 million jagillion, but it's not the answer we're all looking for. Swerve says, Bren, what do you think of Robert Whittaker moving up to 205 to fight Krylov? Love it. He's honestly a naturally sized 170er. He's a big cat now, dude. I think 85 is probably his best weight class, but obviously going up 205. He's going to be small for 205. He might be a little undersized. I don't think his power is going to be an issue for him, and he's going to have such a speed advantage, I would hope. BB Greg says, we doing a live for McGregor fight? Yes, sir. Correct, Dice Game. The BK Whoppers are my thing, but McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese on the weekends and the fries and a Coke. Regular Coke? God, you're a savage, dude. Tyson, what up, B? Thoughts on my favorite fighter, Dustin, getting arrested? Such a good dude. Never saw that coming. People make mistakes. It's all good. Dustin's not a bad person. He's not a bad father. Not a bad husband. Doesn't make him a shittier fighter. It's just shit happens, dude. And look, so Ben Askren's shown videos of Poirier in a bar, like wrestling with fans and stuff. He probably had a few drinks with his boys.
Yeah, I could totally imagine that's the reason why. He's just like messing around and then, you know.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Ryan says, I paid $2,000 for nosebleed seats. Can't wait. Yeah, that's going to be fun, dude. W. Brooks said the prelims are probably on CBS, so will that get more exposure in the bars? Ooh, that's a good thing. That's a good idea, dude. Are they worried about his dicey past? You know what I'm saying? Did that have anything to do with it?
Shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Charles Delahunt, when Dana says that he will take care of guys after fights when they don't win the actual bonus, what does that mean? Is it actually good or is it just like 10K? Yeah, it's just like 10K. That's nothing crazy. I've gotten 5K, 10K. I think I got 30K after I beat Gonzaga. It's always up in the air, man, you know? Steve G says, yeah, I don't know. Whitaker is also on the prelims. That's crazy. That's crazy. Black Ross says, Gabe on the prelims makes sense. His name will carry the prelims. He's not ready for the main card. Agree. He should not be on the main card. Mike Street says, please do a live chat for the McGregor fight. My wife would like somebody else to hear my opinion. Let's do it, brother. Austin says, please check out the new Dagestani Yamanov. Their names are impossible. Am I right?
Let me check some real quick, Brent. So someone sent a gift, a trophy cake. So maybe just shout out their name.
Kid Nicholas 22 sent a trophy cake. What's that mean?
I don't know. We'll find out. But thank you.
Swerve says, my favorite fighter is Fluffy. I love his fighting style so much. Reminds me a lot of Prime Kane. Yeah. Not as good as stand-up as Kane. But, yeah, not as good as wrestling either. Who do you think he should fight next? Maybe Joe Pyfer? Who would you pick in that? That's a great fight. Joe Pyfer just called out Bo Nickel, by the way, recently. Maria G says, now with a 2-6 record in the UFC and still trying to fight again, do you think Chandler just doesn't have a good people in his personal corner to give him that difficult talk? Maybe more about money? Like I said, where else are you going to make $1 million in a night? You know, it's easy for us to be like, dude, just stop. But, you know, who knows? Do you buy a new house? Do you have some project going on? Does he need the money for investment? How's this work? So
I think they're just donating money to answer your question.
Principal
first.
Uncertainty says this is like a direct question. This is the super chat. I don't even know how super chat works, but what's up, dog? I have an argument with my mate, Blind Mike. Do you prefer hats or socks? Both. I mean, if I had to pick one, hats. I love hats. My mom gets mad. So my mom watches everything I do except for these live chats, and she always wants me to do my hair. But I love hats. My mom gets mad that I wear hats all the time. Lazar Aston says, Brendan, do you think the UFC will try to negotiate with Conor given his performance? I mean, yeah, it's all predicated on his performance. If he looks like Nate did on the MVP card, they're like, let's just get this one out of the way and move the hell on. But if he looks good, dude, this guy, Dan K. Cookie says, I got jumped after your comedy show in Salt Lake City. What happened, dude? Please share more. Amp says, Connor's back to bare knuckle today. Did you hear bare knuckle BKFC announced they're fighting at Fenway Park? Mm-hmm. You know how cool that is?
I didn't realize how big a deal that is, but you guys would know.
That's massive, massive, massive.
Yeah.
BKFC is doing some things. Fenway Park, I would like to go to that. That would be. You ever been to Fenway, Chin?
What do you think, dog?
No, because they don't have fish there.
I'm not like a sports thing.
Fenway Park would be so sick. I mean, I'd rather go to, I was gonna say I'd rather go to a game there. I'd go to the Dodgers versus Red Sox there, but I would love to see a UFC at Fenway Park. Start doing more outdoor venues. Start doing these big stadiums. Drew Casablanca says, what's your favorite fighting movie? Not Kung Fu. Example, mine would be The Warrior. Dude, true story. I've never seen The Warrior, even though Brian Callen's in it. And I think Frank Grillo, who's my boy, helped out on that. Favorite fighting movies, Bloodsport, hands down.
Tell me where to go.
Hold on. I think you're too high.
Okay.
Go up. Go up. So I think there.
There it is, around somewhere out here.
All right. Fedo D. Ghetto. What up, dog? Gabe, what up, man? We got to find out why that guy got jumped. Gemma says, jumped by Mormons? I know they're so nice. I've never met a mean Mormon. Some of my good buddies are Mormon. Mike goes, I'd hire Chandler, always looking for a good concrete mucker. Damn, dude. PDXCB, do you think the UFC heavyweight division is ripe for a vet to return and take over? Similar situation when Randy came in and beat Tim. Is there anyone that could? What heavyweights out there? Francis. Francis came in, he could take over. Punk, what up, Brendan? If you're ever in Cali, hit up your boy. I'm a up-and-coming barber. Been subbed for 6 years. Thanks, brother. Abe says, just noticed the First Form shirt. Their energy drinks are great. Just tried them yesterday. Yeah, I mess with their supplements, man. They're great. Andy's my boy. Has the best car collection I've ever seen. Better than Rogan's. His car collection is nutsos. And their shirts are my absolute favorite. They're like thick tees. I love them. Sean Murphy says, what a Big B. You think Stipe needs a formal retirement send-off? It'd be nice, right? For all he's done for the UFC. I actually like it when I don't like when they do like when they fight and then retire. I like when they bring them back, like after a few months or even a year later, then bring them back and do a whole special, the whole video stuff for them. Smitty says, starting BJJ for the first time. I'm athletic, work out a lot, but anything I'm focused on and prepare for, flexibility, cardio. Don't take it so serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to do anything. Don't do too much. Just go with it. Be a good training partner. It's okay to get tapped out. Don't be the guy whose ego's so crazy where you hurt your arm or something because you don't want to get tapped out. It's all good, dude. Have fun. Have fun. Getting tapped out's a good thing until you get to black belt. Gabe says, longtime fan, coaching the 11U All-Stars team. Any advice on the difference between All-Stars and regular season? Oh, buddy. The All-Stars, even at 6, I hold them to a higher accountability. Everybody should be able to throw and catch. Everybody should be running the bases hard. Everybody should be making plays. Like, you can get a little tougher on those boys. If they're all-stars, that means their parents are probably putting time into them, so you can be a little harder on them. Not mean, just mean like if there's a mistake, it's not all good. Come on, dude. There's an expectation. You're on the all-stars for a reason. That's what I mean. Not yelling at them, cussing at them, just holding them to a higher standard, I should say. Amp says, I'm not a fan of the Deep Waters. It's all Din Thomas. I love Din Thomas. I've never seen the show. I've seen clips. I love all those boys. Obviously, me and Jorge work together. I love Jorge, love Dustin, love Din Thomas. Who else is on there? Chris Weidman?
Yeah.
That's a good crew. I haven't seen it. Fedo says, after watching Gaethje versus Ilya, do you think Dustin Poirier hung it up too soon, or do you think Gaethje was simply the man for the job? Gaethje was the man for the job. It was a perfect night for him. Perfect night for him. Andy says, I think it's because so they took Yair Rodriguez off the rankings because he hasn't been active for a hot minute. I like that. I like that. Steezy G's. I think we need to see what's the algorithm is basing the new rankings on. I know activity is a big one. I dig that. Gemma Girl says, over 500 watching the live. Click the like button. Thanks, Gemma. Is that good? I don't know. Don't some people get like freaking a jagillion watching? I'll take 500 strong though, baby. Maria says, I love Yair, but to be fair, he hasn't fought in a while. It's very inconsistent lately when he does. That's taken into account, right? Yeah, that's the word. And I like that because not being ranked hurts sponsorships, hurts, hype. So, hey, let's get back on the saddle here. Let's get going. Let's go. So it's going to hurt a lot of these Dagestanis too, unless you're champ because they can't really do much there. But I like it. Black Ross says, where would you rank Dustin on all-time 155? I got Khabib, BJ, Justin, Frankie above him, and I'm on the fence on who's greater between Dustin and Hendo, leaning towards Hendo. Oof, I'd lean towards Dustin just because the majority of his career is in the UFC. Hendo did a lot of great things before he got to the UFC, which added to his hype. So he had like big fights right away. Dustin really earned it, so I'd put Dustin over Hendo. Drew says, I love me some Jorge Masvidal on Deep Waters. He's so real. Yeah, that's why we love Jorge. He keeps it real. Gamma Girl, isn't Stipe retired? He is. Did he officially retire, though? Has he done, like, anything official yet? Charles Dillahunt, do we really think the new rankings are better? How does it contemplate close fights, BS knockouts, weight miss, and that dog in you? The thing past numbers, essentially, I think it was intangibles. The new rankings, I think it's good because there's actually a system now. Before it was like media members, and there's a lot of hype between guys, you know? So I think this is good. It's going to be rough to start, man. It's going to be rough to start.
So Stipe said he
Yeah,
said
Gamma,
it.
you're right. He says, I'm done. I'm hanging them up. I'm retiring. 20-5 at heavyweight is wild. Wild.
And that's the rule set for, or yeah.
So the new rankings consist of fight outcomes, strength of schedule, method of victory, activity, win streaks, consistency, and overall resume. I dig it. Again, it's going to take a little while to filter this through, but it's going to get better and better over time. The after show, but later says, you can curve the gloves all you want. Gon will end up poking you in the eye with his big toe. Yeah, agree. It's the fighter. It's not the gloves. North Pole Racing. Even though I love Conor, my heart wants Max to win because he deserves it. Great guy. They both deserve it. I'm with you, though. I don't root against Max. Reverse Frankensteiner says, congrats to Chin for figuring out super chats. Yeah, dude. Me and Chin, we're old, man. So we don't know how this shit works. When
Thanks.
someone's
we're
like
on this
super
together.
chat, I'm like, what's that? Just a faster chat? Like the questions go faster? Black Ross, Whitaker versus Poton is a banger in any weight class. If he moves back down to light heavyweight, that would be fire. Couldn't agree more, Black Ross. Principled Uncertainty. What up, man? Welcome to the club. Maria G, some Karen probably didn't know who Dustin was, so the play fighting was different from her perspective. Yeah, probably called the cops on him. Steezy G says, yeah, my first idea is that the prelims are shown separately throughout the world, so maybe if he gets more international eyes. Yeah, maybe. Laser Aston says, Brendan, do you think the UFC will try to negotiate with Conor given his performance? Oh, we covered that. It's
so
all-
these ones they sent earlier.
Gotcha.
Super.
Nate Doug, welcome to the club. Dice Game says, once we start these live questions during UFC events, we're going to have to get Nick Davis on one. Would be entertaining. Yeah, Nick's the
Yeah,
best.
hell yeah.
Welcome, Nate. Abe says, what are your thoughts on MVP? Jake and Ronda post about viewership numbers between the White House and Netflix card. They're like the Jealous X. It's not even comparable. Also, there's not much to brag about. When's your next event? Ronda, when's your next fight? I'm not fighting again. Okay. Gina, when's your next fight? I'm not fighting again. Okay. It's like, what the hell are we doing? Patrick Martinez says, do you think Zabit will return to the UFC? He recently got matched with Raul Rosa at RAF. Isn't he like a doctor now or some shit? He was such a beast. Charles Dillahunt says, gifts and pics on here are just pictures to showcase their tip to you and get them to the top of the chat leaderboard. Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Crucial says, where can I send a track for the BBB intro? Send it to the fighter and the kid shop at gmail.com. Jaguar Paul, sorry I'm late. Work sucks. Sorry, brother. Reverse Frank Steiner says, Gon and Justin want to eye poke. They're going to do it with any glove. Couldn't agree more, dude. It's not the glove. It's the individual. Scotty Smack says, I'm from the same city in Georgia that Cody Durden is from. Although he's had some sloppiness, he's also looked really sharp at times. Yeah, there's times where you're like, damn, that kid can do it. I really think he has so much potential. Am I being biased? No, he's a savage. Sometimes it just takes a few fights before they figure it out. T. Trent says, Chandler keeps fighting because his girl keeps buying him used vehicles without him knowing. Yeah. And here's the thing, that I had one of those Bentley GTs. And that thing's out of warranty. When they're out of warranty, they're so expensive to fix. And he's going to need to fix it. Tomcat MMA, how do you feel about D-Rod making his return so soon after spending 9 months in prison? Going to Serbia, beating a ranked opponent is a tough ask. Agree. They're not doing any favors, are they? That Volker says, why are you all mad at Chandler right now? None of us are doing our job right now. Dave Thompson, I make custom patch hats. Would love to send y'all some. Let's do it, brother. Jaguar. Yo, fuck the fight talk. Let's talk about House of Dragons. Season 3, episode 1, go. Yeah, it's about time they picked up the action in that. I hear you, Mike. Max should win. Drew Casablanca, slap fight even go anymore? I never hear anything about it anymore. Dana needs to drop it. It's still going. I heard in person it's amazing from so many people. But his baby's boxing. You know? Like his side chick was slap fight and then now it's boxing. So the other one got kicked to the curb.
Got lost again. Is any of this familiar?
That works right there.
All right.
GK Gogo says, I'm in Salt Lake City. Also, please tell more. Agree, man. That guy that got jumped, what's up, dude? What happened, man? Dice Game Network, who would you have on the white-on-white crime? Bo Nickal, Joe Pyfer? Seems like Bo would just hold him down for most of the fight. Man, that's such a fun fight. Sign me up. Take my money. Andrew Ortega says, I think Chandler should do a RAF. Get paid and thinks his wrestling is still top level. I agree. Tyler Cook says, where's all the old stock Thick Boy merch I need? My boys at Killer Merch have it. We can release some new stuff.
Oh, never mind.
I'm assuming this guy's talking about his little league team. I yelled, get in there, a few too many times, made them mad. Yeah, some of the parents don't like it. Kid Nicholas says, B, you ever been to Demolition Derby? And if so, what would you ever run one? Yeah, I'm down. Louis Trejo says, welcome to Big Brown Club. What's up, big dog? Andrew Riot said, do you think the UFC could do an outdoor series of fights using the claw, similar to NHL's outdoor series they do? Yeah, I don't see why not. Justin Gaethje did allude to the fact he didn't like fighting outdoors, though. But I feel like if you did it a few times, you get more used to it. I feel you, Amp. You can't be a Yankee fan and go to. Yeah, I feel you, dude. D Jambo says, I'm getting old. I just said it's got to be hotter this year than last. Yeah, that's what my dad says. Narazo, I just made my girl watch Bloodsport with me. Okay, USA. Yeah, my girl's not having it. Keeps going down, Chin. Black Ross says, your La Jolla shows were so fire. That's my favorite venue, man. I always got lucky after one of your shows. Oh, nice. Usually there's a lot of dudes with their girls. Not too many single ladies in my crowd. Dela Cruz says, Tom versus Gone in September according to Michael Bisping. Really? Michael Bisping works for the UFC, so that's pretty legit. $915 _ AM. What up, B? What's the best advice you ever gotten that didn't make sense at the time you heard it until it clicked years later? I mean, Rogan's given me a ton of good advice, especially about dealing with, like, people. I wish I listened to him. My dad told me when I was young, keep it simple, stupid. He wasn't calling me stupid, but he was just saying you gotta keep things simple. When you make it too complicated is when you get in trouble. He's right. Black Ross says, your boy Phil DeFries, he could run the division, no problem. Maybe. What's my question is, what's the testing like where he's fighting at? Slowfit, what's your supplement stack with First Form? Man, they're creatine, right? I'm a creatine kid, so I take creatine every day. My kids take creatine. So I do 20 grams of creatine every morning. And I do their pre-workout. And then they have their greens too. And then I'm off to the races. Cody says, do you think Ilya could go out like Henan Barao? Henan was incredible before the TJ fights. Henan had so much damage by that time and had so much experience. You gotta remember, Ilya still, he might have 20 fights at this point, and he hasn't taken much damage, so I think he'll be all right. Gabe Cup says, your first channel I've ever paid for. Fuck the haters. Thanks, brother. Sean Murphy, how do you think Prime Stipe would do against pre-poke Tom? That's a great fucking fight. Great fight. Tom's fast hands would be an issue for him. Stipe's head work was never the best. His movement and Tom's speed would be an issue for him. But then the wrestling of Stipe and the cardio, that's a great freaking fight. Kid Nicholas says, are you done doing giveaways? I wouldn't say done. I'm taking a break right now. That last one really pissed me off. Emma Vu says, do you like Never Back Down? Never saw it. Kyle Tricky says, Brendan, do you think there's much of a feel-out round with Conor and Max, or is Max going to come out and try to take his head off? I think Max is going to be the aggressor. Conor's going to have to feel it out. Hasn't been there for 5 years. Slow Fit, any reason why I haven't seen Warrior yet? I know. Callan, Grillo, Hardy. I love all three of those. I'm not really into fight movies. Usually the fighting's super lame, but I've heard such good things about that. Black Ross, Stipe would have mopped Tom. It'd been a tough fight for Tom. Very tough fight. North Pole Racing, what up, dog? Who do you have if they fight? Sugar versus Corey Sandhagen? And if the same weight, John Jones versus Mighty Mouse? Mighty Mouse is the most technical and best technical fighter of all time. So if they're the same size, Mighty Mouse. He does everything better than John. And his mindset was out of this world. Sugar versus Corey Sandhagen? Listen, Corey Sandhagen's, I've known him since he was 15. He walked into the gym, so I have a mutual connection with Corey, and he's from Aurora, so I would never pick against Corey. Super biased. I love Sugar. Corey's my guy. Go to his gym. What is it, Tiger Beetle gym? Go to that.
Yeah, Beetle.
Big Ben, you ever tried microdosing shrooms? All that stuff doesn't sit with me, man. I don't do well with it. Completely sober, brother. Yeah, it's Smitty. My wife just walked by and asked, who is that? Said, Brendan Schaub. She said, he's cute. Well, I'm all right, man. I'm so tan right now because I'm always out in the fucking sun coaching kids. Luke says, good morning, brother. Huge fan since King and the Sting. My little brother is about to have his first kid named Zachariah. Could you please give him a shout out? Really admire you. Thanks, brother. Zach, welcome to the world, my man. Don't listen to this show because you probably have a speech impediment and say some outlandish stuff. So when you're older, listen to the show. Dan K says, I'm surprised you don't remember me yelling, get in there really loud. At my show, dude? I thought you were the Pop Warner guy yelling at the kids, get in there, because I love that. DJ Ambo says, I think Prime Stipe beats everyone. Everyone but Prime Kane. Prime Kane did everything Stipe did, but better. Prime Kane, I think, is the best heavyweight of all time. Gabe Cup says, I'm hoping Derek Lewis gets one more and retires. Agree. One more, that's a good fight for him, and he makes himself proud and puts in effort, wins, and retires. Sandy Go Post, what up, dog? Abe says, Deep Waters is great. Dustin does a good job not being biased when it comes to Conor, but Jorge and Dean definitely don't like Conor. Weidman is great. All those guys are good. And any fighter, especially if you have a history with fighters, is going to be biased. It's just what they – that's why I like the boys in the back. They don't have any connections. So it's non-biased commentary. Luke says, my best friend is named Sullivan Coley. He's a professional fighter for Bellator. Well, not anymore, right? Bellator's gone. So is he with PFL? Recently lost in the 205 champion tournament final. Have you heard of him? I have not, bud. And could you please pass on any advice? Keep going, bro. Clearly, you're talented. Clearly. If you made it that far. Especially at 205, come to the UFC, dude. If you're freaking doing that in Bellator or PFL, you'll do work in the UFC. What's his background, Jim? Looks like a wrestler if I've ever seen one. Sandy Go Post. What happens if Conor starts his max in round 1? He's going to get to decide after he negotiates his new contract with the UFC if he's fighting Justin for the belt at 55 or Islam or Ian Gary at 170. Yeah, there he goes. Oh, dude. Arizona State wrestler? Dude, come to the UFC and take over, Bubba. Come on, Sullivan. Come to the UFC and dominate, bud. He's 10-2. I'm sorry, he's 8-2. 10 fights? Yeah, dude, we're cooking. He's just getting started. He's only been fighting since 2020. CZG says, new rankings are better, no doubt. It shouldn't be a popularity include at all. Agree, 1,000%. Can you imagine if college football does a little bit of popularity, right? Like Notre Dame's always ranked too high for me, even though they're damn good, but because they're Notre Dame. I feel like Alabama, those teams, they get ranked high because their name. Austin Sherlock says, have you watched this season Tough? No, I haven't seen it in I don't know how long, dude. Slowfist says, do you dabble in the stock market or do any investments? Just real estate. Nothing in the stock market. I wish I knew more about it, though. Dice Game Network says, Super Chat is a paid chat, therefore should have an answer priority. Shout out to Jim for figuring it out. He's 50.
Not 50 yet.
Branson Fortenberry, welcome to the Brownies. Eduardo Martinez, welcome to the Brownies.
Damn it.
I think we're there.
Yeah.
Where else?
No, maybe it was a little higher. There it was.
High's hype. Have you guys brought up Herb Dean being another back of the head controversy? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Herb. He's just, I don't know. He just seems a little off. He's a little off, right? With the back of the head shit. I feel like he doesn't want to get involved. But it's like, buddy, you kind of got to.
But he made the video afterwards, too.
He made that video, so
he's
he's seen all the
involved.
backlash, so he's still doing it. I don't get it. Drew Casablanca, my lunch break needs to be 2 hours long on Tuesdays. 30 minutes not. They only give you 30 minutes for lunch, man. Where you work, dog? Andrew Ortega says, I think the UFC shot themselves in the foot, viewer-wise, when the top 3 fights started at midnight for half the audience, and it was on Sunday. I don't know if they shot themselves in the foot because the viewership was so good, but I hear you. Thank you, Gemma Girl. Appreciate you. Thank you. Black Ross, you're a real one. Mike Street says, do you guys screen out the haters, or are they just on here because they have to pay? He goes, I can't stand that negative bullshit. Yeah, Chim monitors it, but what are you going to do, you know? Because they have to pay to get on here. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Part of the game, y'all. Devo the Doob says, who do you think has potential to be the next big star? Is Patty still the leader in the clubhouse? If he wins this one, he'll fight Ilya. That'd be a huge one. Yeah, I don't. Oh, you can have moderators on this thing?
Yeah. We assign like certain people, maybe even like fans that we trust to like pay attention to all the stuff before I
Yeah, I vote Gemma. Have Gemma do it. Ask her if she's down.
Yeah, Gemma, if you're down.
And after show, but later too. He's right there.
Yeah, so I would say just hit me up.
Can't you just make him mods on here now, Chin?
I mean, you don't want me to do a little bit of check on him?
No, I know after show and Gemma. You're
right.
good for both of them. Chin, can you go to the UFC? It's the Oklahoma Fight Night with DDP and Kamaru Usman for me.
Yeah.
This is the gentleman that we should all be paying attention to. DDP versus Usman. Click on that right there.
Sorry.
He's fighting Kevin Holland. Jacoby Smith.
Oh, you talked about him many times already.
Jacoby Smith is your next superstar. Undefeated. Oklahoma State kid. Checks all the boxes. There's a reason why. I mean, granted, it's a fight night, and they're giving Kevin Holland. It's his first, like, tough fight. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a big, big problem. Oh, what else we got? Everyone's voting for Gemma as the mod. Keep going down, Chin. There's, yeah, keep going.
Keep going.
Sandy Go Post, best get skinny fast peptide. Any of the, what's the name of the,
GLP-1s.
GLP-1s. People love retatrutide. I think you're going to try Zipatide. It's cheaper. DJ Ambo says, Brendan's knees are tan. Yeah, dude, I'm literally in short shorts just standing out in the sun forever. Abe says, yo, Brendan, you still got the 392 Jeep? That was my favorite car you had in the TRX. Yeah, 392 Jeep is currently getting an engine swap from Texas Speed Performance. Putting a 427 in it, turbo. Matt Street says, just on Rogan was fire. Everybody can learn something about self-belief from that guy. Agree. Tyler Cook, what up? I know Tyler. What up, big dog? The Gimmerka says, thanks, Andy. Oh. MK Yo-Yo says, remember when Brian thought he rented an Excursion? That was great. I was like, Black Ross says, you're right, Brandon. I was kind of being a hater. Tom versus Stipe would be a banger. No, you're not being a hater, dude. You're not a hater thinking that Stipe would mop the floor with Tom. The better question, we're never going to see that fight, but Stipe versus Kane's in their primes, the fight. Make a hybrid of any two fighters all time. Demetrius Johnson. So DJ would be my number one. And Francis. So you have the power and size of Francis and the skill and IQ of DJ.
And that's from Sean Rice.
Captain 420 Canada. Any good Duke Rufus stories? He was just always super nice to me. Never worked with him. Was always great to me. Always, always great to me. Drew Casbon, you take any vitamins? Which one? Fish oil and a multivitamin every single day. Black Ross, Corey versus Sugar might be my favorite fight that can happen. Yeah, and Corey's also killing on social media his way. His way. Yeah, that's why I like Corey. He's always been a different type of cat. Really smart dude. I love what he's doing on social media. I love that fight too, man. Dice Game Network, when's the Triple B merch drop? I know I need to figure that out. I'm sorry, guys. Damn, David Thomas says, trying to watch this and drive a forklift. Not sure I'm talented enough for this. Dude, who is? Andrew says, had to speed up the play speed to catch up live. Hearing Brendan's sped up voice is hilarious. I'll take it, man. Branson F says, how much do you think a beatdown like Ilya got affects him moving forward? Preparation-wise, mentally-wise, see him walk through opponents? Well, we see him walk through opponents. Yeah, it depends what kind of dude he is. We really don't know, right? We've never seen him lose. I think it can affect his psyche more than anything. And I bet you his preparation's a little different, too. He's going to have tougher training partners. I bet you he doesn't do the parties before fights. I bet you he stops drinking wine. Like, he has to dial things in. Now it gets real for him. Boulder Johnny 007 says, why do people clown on older fighters that fight longer than their prime rather than look at it for the courage they have to overcome knowing they can't do what they used to do? Never understood. Yeah, agree. You just never know what someone's dealing with. Like, what if and I'm not saying he is, but what if you found out Chandler didn't retire because he's $300,000 away from paying off his mortgage? You know? And his number one goal is to pay off his mortgage, and he needs to take one more fight to get that done. You know? Shit like that. Like, stuff we don't know about. So I'm with you, man. Stay Weird says, thoughts on main event this past weekend with Cape and Horiguchi. Cape's a savage. Savage and his knockout power at that weight class is insane. But that being said, he got beat up that fight. He got outclassed. So him versus Van's the fight. Van obviously has to do his thing against Pantoja. I don't think he beats Van, though, or Pantoja. And Pantoja and him already fought. Punk Oni. Brennan, what's the scariest thing you've ever experienced? Like Ghost or just like in life? Flipping that TRX is pretty scary. Scariest thing I ever experienced? God, let me know. Are we talking about like haunting shit? Or what are we talking about, bud? Amp says facts, but yeah, I listen to the boys in the back too. Yeah, they're great. I wish they did more shows though, right? I think they come out with like once a week. Like, come on. Jack Stapleton says, was Florida ever in the mix when you and the fam were moving out of Cali? No. I like Florida. I never thought about it. I don't know why either. Black Ross says, Brendan, the story about Kimbo's story about him thinking you were black, that's how I felt when I saw you, bro. I said, he's one of us. Always been a fan since 10. Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I posted a picture. So my son's best friend, Aiden, his dad's AJ, who's, he's black. And I posted a picture of him and, so Tiger and Aiden, with Danny Ambadola, who's helping my kiddos out with football drills. The great Danny Ambadola, the Super Bowl champion, right? I posted a picture of him, and they're like, man, Tiger's getting big, and he's so tan. I was like, Tiger's on the left. That's not Tiger and Basti. That's a black kid on the right. But, I'm tan, so people think my kids are tan. Adams, let's see. Escofio says, if Patty wins and Connor wins, could we have Patty versus Connor or Chandler versus Connor? You're amazing, Dad. Fighter said, oh, thanks, brother. Thanks for a donation too, pal. If Patty wins, Connor wins. Could we have Patty versus Connor or Chandler versus Connor? I would be willing to bet they do Patty versus Connor over Chandler versus Connor, because Chandler versus Connor, you got two war horses, probably done, right? Like send to the road for them. They'll probably use Patty to get the rub off Connor. That'd be a massive, massive fight. Adam Smitty goes, just wanted to donate. Not sure how this shit works. Me neither, brother. Does money go to y'all or did I just get got by YouTube? I think it goes to us, Adam.
It better go.
I think it better go to me. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man. Jesus. Thank you for that.
And we answered this already.
Adam Smitty also says, Brock, John Jones, Carwin, Uberim, and Kane locked in cage. Who walks out? They're all in their prime? I'll say Kane. Black Russ, the best 155er you haven't heard of yet is Chris Taco Padilla, 5-0 in the UFC. Gemma Girl says, got to dip out for an hour. Behave yourselves, chat. Thanks, Gemma. T-Trent, B, did you see that TKO wants to put a WWE event on the White House lawn? Not a fan of that myself. I think that takes away from the magic of the UFC event. What's your take? Yeah. Did that not rub anybody else the wrong way? I was like, what the fuck? I don't, and you know what? The way I react to that, I'm like, oh, that's how casuals that aren't UFC fans reacted to the UFC doing it at the White House. That really pissed me off. Get that fucking WWE shit off the White House lawn. How are you going to disgrace the White House and put an event on? Black Ross says, this chat causes major FOMO for me. Why, dude? Black Ross, couldn't agree more. Mark Goddard is the best ref, 1,000%. Maria G says, Feely got done dirty by that elbow to the back of the head Saturday. Another Herb Dean fight. Here's the thing, too. Not only was it to the back of the head, but then he was bleeding from the back of his head in an illegal spot, Cash Cam says, I roof houses and these streams keep me from beating up my crew in the hot sun. Oh, dude, thank you for a donation. Doing the Lord's work, man. Andrew Raya says, is it worth it for amateurs to go into these other leagues like one PFL, or is it just UFC or bust? No, amateurs, and if you're under, I'd say 10 fights, get into these other leagues. Come to the UFC when you're ready to go, man. It's a little different now, right, with Contender Series, stuff like that. And there's so many fighters on the card. Let me think about that one. I used to always say be ready to go when you get to the UFC, but it's a different world now. The Auto Guide production said, would it help to have topics that you want to discuss once the repeat questions start rolling in? How so, brother? Help us out.
Nick Davis said too. Like, we wanted to start the show and have like some topics that you actually really want the guys to discuss on the chat. We could just cover those as well.
This chat's what they want.
Yeah.
It's not up to me.
I know.
Whatever they want. Literally whatever they want. Sean Murphy says, do you think Poatan would do better at heavyweight if he stayed where he's weight-wise and does like 20 pounds weight cut to prime his body the way he used to rather than just come in raw dog? Yeah, I think 252 or 253 when he came was too heavy. It took away his speed advantage. Maria G says, paying to be a hater is crazy. The thing is, especially if you're paying, you're not a hater. You're a super fan, and you don't know how to handle it. It'd be weird to pay to comment on here something negative, because you guys are my fans, so I don't have to do anything. You guys are gonna light them up. It's so dumb. Also, I would imagine if we just sat down and talked, we would get along. But that's the world we live in, friends. Fedo D. Gatto says, my friend with basically zero baseball experience thinks he could hit a home run against an MLB pitcher. If the pitcher's goal was to purposely allow him to hit one. Thoughts? Not a chance. Not a chance. He has a better chance in knocking out Francis Ngannou with one punch than he does hitting a home run off an MLB guy. The Cleaner 9296. Did you discuss new meta rankings yet? My boy Huffy got put below Killian. Yeah. It makes sense. I always told you guys I think he's a little overrated. Auto Guy Production says, careful with the mods. They get sensitive. Especially Gemma. I bet she's pretty fucking good, man.
I think Gemma for sure.
Yeah. Rafi says, sorry I'm late. Company meeting and I made breakfast for the dads. I get it, brother. T. Trent, we see you, brother. Dr. Chin. Gigs, what up, man? D. Jambo says, our only female is the mod. Yeah, that's funny. Dice Game Network says, the only thing about mod stats is that they may delete comments for paying members who's going too far in a joke. Then you lose that person donating. Yeah, I hear you. We'll figure it out, fam. We'll be all right. Black Ross, Chris Taco Padilla is your next UFC superstar. Might be. Dice Game, let's give Gemma a chance before we just assume she's too sensitive. But I hear you. Drew Casablanca says, love the Brendan answers every question. You deserve every penny. Thanks, dude. The after show but later says trizipatide versus semaglutide are better in theory, but it really depends on the person. Agree. Reverse Franksteiner, Chin, who's winning the picks? Are we tracking? I haven't really been tracking it.
No, but you're the one that's like leading.
Yeah, I think I'm winning, but That Game Network says a sign of mod seems like an off-air conversation. Maybe, or this is how we do it here, brother. We don't know this live chat shit, so you guys are helping us out. Abe says, yo, Bren, remember that episode of TFAK where Brian wore his Crocs after you told him not to and he jumped on you with his nut sacks out? Yeah, I do.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I do remember. Where are we at?
I think it's still up there. All right.
Yep. Oh, Black Ross. Stephen Thompson with Charles Oliveira, BJJ. Yeah, the issue with Stephen Thompson, sometimes, I hear you.
We already covered boulders.
Scott says, I'm watching this thing driving the excavator. It's not that hard. Jaeger, welcome to the club. Oh, Nick's not here because I couldn't catch the live show yesterday and was wondering about Nick's experience, thoughts on drinking pee. Chin was the only one who seemed open to drinking piss.
Yeah, I'm actually going to try it, so I'll let you guys know.
DJ Embo, listen to Brendan pronounce names is fucking the best. Dude, it's so tough with your guys' YouTube names. Punk, Scary Ghost Haunted Story. I need something. Got the goosebumps popping. Scary wise, I haven't had too much. Like me and my girl, because we both love that haunted stuff. Went to New Orleans. We stayed in the most haunted hotel there. The water turned on. The lights turned on. I was so tired from walking all day. I didn't care. But my girl literally got no sleep. And then we walked through the cemetery. That was definitely scary. Lewis says, Big Dog, what's the odds you come to OKC to watch DDP versus Usman? Need a picture autograph. Also, I'm first time subscribing to any YouTube channel. Thighs looking thick. Thanks, dude. Chance of me going, not good. Because that's in when? Is that fight? That fight's in July? July what? Mikey, welcome to the club, dude. That fight's July 18th. It's a Saturday. Yeah, weekends, my kiddos usually have sports. And that's right when tackle football starts. It's going to be tough for me to leave, brother. Patrick Martinez says, any chance we get Will Sasso back on TFAT-K? He's not doing a lot these days. He's in LA. If he comes out to Texas, I'm sure. I love Will. Slowfit says, Black Ross, Chris Padilla versus Jim Miller. Who you got? Big Ben says, Adam, they get like 70% or something. Yeah, I think YouTube takes 30%. Jaeger says, what up, B? Finally was able to hop on this live. Love all your content. Thanks, brother. Charles says, TKO doesn't care about how fans feel. They just want to make as much money as possible through WWE and UFC. Correct. They're a business. Yeah, they're a business. Black Ross says, the fighter of the UFC needs to be the smartest with his Patty. He has the potential to be the biggest star. Yeah, agree. But where he's ranked now, it's kind of shit or get off the pot, so they can't really protect him too much. Esco Fio says, when are we having Joe back on the Fighting the Kid roasting Callan? I'm down to do it whenever. Mikey says, longtime fan, met you and Chin at the Stand Up Live in Arizona. Great club. Give you props for improvement in sound quality once Chin joined the team. Yeah, Chin's good, man. Gabe says, are you in any UFC games? I hope they would put you in 6. Kimbo sliced him for 5 for fuck's sakes. Kimbo's a big deal. Yeah, I was in the first one. IZ Hype 33. Please do a live fight campaigns in this format. You don't need guests, Big Dog. We got this. I'm down, man. First one would be the Conor fight. Charles says, agreed, would love Sasso back on TFAT-K. Hopefully he never went bad on you guys during COVID times. That COVID stuff was weird, man. It caused a lot of riff with things, right? Adam Smitty, how hard is it going from 1 to 2 kids? Wife is being induced Thursday with baby girl. My son is 4. There's nothing better, man. Now that 4-year-old has a best friend for life. They say the biggest change is 2 to 3. And after 3, it doesn't matter. But 2 to 3 is the biggest change. 3 is a lot. But it's the best. I'd do 6 if I could. Drew Casablanca says, after The Ultimate Fighter, did you get approached to do more reality TV because of the stint you had? No. The after show says, I'm down for whatever, brother. Topics, chat, shit. I'll let you drink DCs all day. No homo. Yeah, thanks, brother. After show, what up, dog? Mike Street, keep it simple, stupid. Common sense throughout my day. Check out Saguru on Sean Ryan. Jaguar Power, how many members are we at? I have no clue, man. David Thompson, how have you managed not to run your head through a wall after listening to Brian talk about MMA for over a decade? We admire that will. No, Brian's the best. You just can't take him too serious. When he wants to die on a hill, though, that's when I get upset. That's the only time I get upset. Austin Jiu-Jitsu, what up, dog? Where else we at?
I think it was around here.
Yep. Thank you, Collapsism. Tyler Cook, you and David Lucas fishing was good shit. Was it? I feel like we're just rambling. You know, nobody. He got one fish, but I feel like there was no plan, which is fine. Mike Shee says, I would feel bad for Brian, but he knows way too many billionaires. Dude, if he tells me he knows a billionaire one more time, I'm going to freak out. Collapsism, you ever watch videos made about you? Never. No. I don't watch it. I don't watch anything good, bad. I can't stand watching myself, good or bad. Riza Re 28. Finally joined. Been going through it. These live apps have keep me sane. Thanks for everyone out here in Alaska. Alaska, what up,
Hell
big
yeah.
dog? Best trip I've ever had was with Chin, Brian, fishing in Alaska with my son. Tiger still talks about it to this day. Austin Jiu-Jitsu, Big Brown, what's good? Just sub so I can comment. Look forward to having some questions, brother. Let's get going, bud. Adrian Macias, yo, what up, B? Late to the party. All good, man. Welcome. Better late than never. Mike Street, explain the difference between boxing and striking. I've been doing boxing for 10 years. Inspiring MMA fighters, just different. It's the biggest difference would be the distance and the punches. You know, like the distance and where you're safe in boxing, you're not in MMA. So it'd be the distance, would be the angles would be the biggest thing you have to get used to, and obviously the combinations. You can't really sit in the pocket as long. And not to mention your defense with kicks, takedowns, elbows. Sean J. Murphy says, I know you're not a huge on the UFC BJJ. It's not that I'm not huge on it, but what would you think if they made a gi league? I'm a gi guy myself. Feel like it's gotten a bit more exciting recently. Jiu-Jitsu should be in a gi, but I don't know as far as getting viewership if that's the move, but I'm all for it. I see you, Escofio. Thanks, brother. Hell yeah, Gary Knight. My two-door H1 getting a LS swap is out in LA right now. They're just swapping the engine now. My boy Bruno at Sig Motorsports is doing it. ALC says, sometimes when I piss, it smells like coffee. So it can be tempting, but I still pass. Yeah, most of us pass. Patrick Martinez, you ever get your boys four-wheelers? I did, man. And I got rid of them. A, they were breaking all the time. I was constantly fixing them. But B, they stopped riding their bikes. And I need that. I need them getting those reps in on the bikes, man. Drew Casablanca, Brendan, you ever miss Stevie Weeby on T-Fat-K? I feel like your chemistry with Theo and him where it's an absolute gold. Stevie was the best, man. I haven't thought about Stevie in a long time. He's such a good dude. Black Ross, something bad is about to happen on Netflix. Have you seen this, Brendan? Made by the guys who made Stranger Things. No. I watched that documentary on Netflix. Maternal motherly or something like that. Have you seen this shit? Spoiler alert, this lady lies about being pregnant, puts on a fake belly, and then murders her best friend and cuts the baby out of her stomach. It's intense. It's a doc. It's worth watching. Damn, Will Sasso having his first baby. He'll be awesome, dad. You imagine having Will Sasso as your dad? Tyler Cook, yes, sir. W. Brooks, do you think Jamal Hill would be better off going to middleweight, leaning out, or bulking up to heavyweight? Honestly, middleweight, but the discipline and the sacrifices and the complete life change you'd have to make would be really tough at his age. ALC says, Big Brown yearly BBQ, fan gathering, get it going, Chin. That'd be fun. There's not many of you in Texas, though, I don't think. That'd be fun, though.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian, first time on live. Been working night shift the last 2 weeks and couldn't catch live. Oh, welcome, brother. Austin 07, which one of your fights would you suggest new fans watch? Any of the Ultimate Fighter ones are good. Chase Gormley, Tusher, Gonzaga was a good one. You could probably skip the LeVar fight. Wasn't that exciting?
It's still worth watching, I think, man.
I would skip the Andrei Arlovsky one unless you want to see me get robbed by the judges. He won split decision, but I beat him. Probably the Crow Cop one. Or the Mitrione one. Mitrione one good.
That was good.
If you don't like me, probably watch the Ben Rothwell one.
The very top one.
Very top?
Yeah,
The
Cleaner.
Cleaner 9296. As a wrestling fan, more of WWE stuff. I will say the feeling WWE fans is TKO is not great for them, just like UFC fans. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard there's a lot of similar complaints from the WWE fan base with TKO. It's the exact same thing with UFC, which is, yeah, makes sense. Maria G says, watching this while having lunch and working from home makes me feel like I'm not alone. Love the brownies. Love it. I need lunch myself. Clap says, Brendan, do you think we'll ever get a Trill Meyer collab? I don't know who that is. And Captain 420 Canada, Will Sasso was yelling at you guys for COVID was jokes. Probably. It depends, dude. Right? Will's great, though. Sukas, what up? Welcome to the club. Black Ross says, Brendan, you and I talked at one of your shows about who was the female MMA GOAT. My argument was for Cyborg over Amanda was that at her age, fight damage and weight cut played a part in her loss to Nunes. She still lost, though. And what about PEDs? And her strength of schedule coming up. You know, there's like 4 girls fighting when she fought. But I hear you. At Smitty22 says, wonder if Conor throws that left kick early to get his nerves out. I was thinking about that the other day, too. I wonder if he's going to be throwing kicks. CJ says, saw you film your special, met you at La Jolla Comedy Store, at the store downtown San Diego. I had a new girlfriend at every show, LOL, and you'd always call them dimes. Respect. You got it, brother. Reverse Frankenstein. Brian has great read on MMA for casuals. Yep, agree. He's got a lot of picks right over Bren's for main events. Yeah, he picked Ghana and Gaethje. Agree. Sometimes when you're too into the weeds, you overthink things. And Brian, who checks in and checks out, will just be like, yeah, I'll take Ghana. I'll take, Justin. So, yeah, you're right, dude. He does get a lot of stuff right. Bo versus Hokit. CJ, if they wrestled in college, but who wins in the MMA? Hokit's just so much bigger right now. Jesus Christ, dude. Nate Doug says, huge fan, man. Wish I could catch the live easier. Currently putting 60-inch concrete pipe in the ground. I don't get a lunch break either. Good vibes, my guy. Jeez, dude. Drew Casablanca, Big B. I bought an autographed shop show photo on eBay. It was blue Sharpie. Starting to think it's not real. Do you sign autos in blue? I'll sign it, but I call them out, right? Because if you see someone with a blue Sharpie, it's just so they can copy it. So I don't know, brother, but just send it to me. I'll sign it for you. So make sure it's real. Jaguar Paul says, not going to lie, I've watched one. It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. They have over 300K views. Who's that? You're good, Black Ross. I'm with you, brother. Collaptism says, Jim, what up? Let's link up. We'll fix y'all. What's wrong with us?
Fix y'all.
Gary Knight says, what's going on with Golden Hour? I would be lying if I said it's not the same when you're not on debating on cancel my Patreon for it. No, those guys are great. Don't cancel. I'll still be on there sparingly. I stepped away so I could do live Big Browns, and I could focus more on this, man. Because with that, 2 fighting the kids, and I'm trying to do more of this because this is my shit. I'm just spread too thin. So I stepped back from it. Those boys still run. I'm still going to check in. I'll be on in a few weeks. Austin Jiu-Jitsu, who's the best former fighter who breaks down fights right now? I look at TJ and DJ as my North Star. Who are your thoughts? Yeah. Dominic Cruz is really good too. Hardy's really good. There's some really good ones. Probably, yeah, be tough to beat DJ and TJ. Drew Casablanca, Brendan does this shit on the fly. That's why I love this show. Yes, sir. Rafi, just really started crushing Coke Zeros. Those are nice. Never been a fan of the Diet Cokes. I remember you having to drink Coke Zeros when you were in the Dominican Republic. What's the biggest difference? Well, first of all, the Coke Zeros in DR, those aren't the ones we get in the States. They were funky, man. They have the weird aftertaste. That's my issue. That's my issue.
Let me know. Oh, it's too far down. So this is the very bottom right here.
Okay.
I think we were like pretty close.
Not taking a lunch break is only robbing yourself, yeah. Johnson Kami, man, I almost missed today. How's it going, big dog? I'm good, brother. Black Ross says, if you put the old merch again, then I'm putting it in a pre-order for one of those camo bomber jackets. Those would be tough to find because the Roots of Fight made those. Those were so high-end. Fedo D. Gatto says, help settle this debate. If I was standing behind Canelo Alvarez in line at Cinnabon, could I knock him could I knock him out with an unexpected right hook? I'm 200 pounds, pretty athletic. Curious your thoughts. What a question. Canelo's so small. You're 200 pounds, so you probably got 60 pounds on him. Pretty athletic. Have you ever thrown a hook, though, dude? Like, can you get your hips and your legs into it? If you've never thrown it, it's just an arm punch, you're not going to knock him out. But if you really, wind up, that'd be a problem, dude. Because you're so much heavier, I'd probably say yes. And he's just waiting in line at Cinnabon. Black Ross says, I love the Golden Hour. It's just not the same without me. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, those guys are great, though. At Smitty, thank God I'll have this content to watch in the middle of the night with a newborn. Any shows to binge over the next month? God, dude, where do we start? Have you started Widow's Bay? That one's great. Friends and Family is great on Apple. My wife wanted to watch the new Michael Jackson movie last night. It's good. I'd like if they got into, some of the controversy stuff, but they didn't. Croco, were you ever near Brock Lesnar? Is he as big a freak as people say? Yeah, so, me and Brock, when I fought his main training partner, Chris Tusher, and he fought Shane Carwin, at the press conference, I was there because I won some award the UFC gave me. I forget what it was. Some award. And so I had to go up there, and him and I was kind of talking shit about him I was talking shit about him to get to his training partner because they're so close before I fought him. And I was so worried Brock was going to be try and fight me at this press conference. And he was the nicest guy ever. He's such a good dude. He's like, I get it, man. I get it. Keep doing your thing, man. Huge fan. Hopefully we fight one day. And I'm like, oh, shit, this guy's so cool. He was so massive. But I will say this. He was so big, right? But I'm used to Shane Carwin. And Shane Carwin had Will Sasso legs. Brock Lesnar had small calves. I remember thinking that. I mean, that was my one takeaway. But he's a savage. The after show but later says, my favorite Theo joke on King of the Sting, he said, you look like you drowned and stayed alive. That's when I was all bloated and drinking. Yeah. Theo's roasts were great, man. Esco, you ever tried Diet Lime Coke? I don't like anything lime or lemon, dude. I don't fuck with that. My wife puts lime and shit in all her stuff. That's the Mexican way. I don't fuck with it. It's not my thing. Kleptism says, I watched the Gearhead Gone Wild shit on Tubi. Why are you scared in the passenger seat all the time? Because I don't know most of those dudes, you know? And I've been in a lot of car wrecks, and that's the way this shit gets weird. So, and some of those cars were so fast, you know? Shane says this, do you think we should change our names to Dagestani last names? Might as well with some of these names, dude. Oh, wow. Sukas says, my name is Lucas. Oh, gotcha, brother. Then why Suka? All right. So Lucas says, dope that you're doing these. I remember walking around my high school listening to Fighter and the Kid in the study hall. I'm a 26-7 pro fighter. Hope to make it a food truck if you ever bring it back again. I'm in negotiations now to bring it back. We'll see. 26 and you're 26 years old. You're 7-0, so you're undefeated.
Oh,
good for you, brother. I thought you were saying you're 26-7. I'm like, you're probably a boxer then, but 7-0, good for you, brother. Black Ross says the biggest person I've ever seen in real life was the Big Show. Have you ever met him? Brendan was surprisingly big when I met you in SD. Yeah, everyone thinks maybe because I'm on camera, I don't know, but yeah, I'm not small, but I'm not huge. But the Big Show's massive, massive. Reverse Frankenstein. Seeing the negative effects, do you morally regret trying to sell alcohol to your fans? No, not at all. No. It's like, you know, people have issues with like DraftKings that I do. It's like, buddy, this is a free world, man. You know, it's a free world. And I had an issue with alcohol, but I have a ton of friends who drink. I think besides me and Theo, most of my friends, they all drink. They don't have issues with it, you know? So it depends on the person. I'm not the regulator of that stuff, my man. It's like, oh, but gambling leads to addiction. Yeah. That's your issue, man. I've gambled before. I have no issue with it, you know? So I can't control that stuff, man. It's a free world, brother. Slow Fit, what's your fast food cheat meal? Burger King, Whopper and cheese, ketchup only. Yeah, any new word on Food Truck Diaries? I feel like there's a good amount of new fighters that haven't been interviewed. Yes. Yep, and the people I'm partnering up with would definitely have the connections to all the fighters. We'll see. We'll see where we're at. We're trying to find a middle ground. Captain 420, met you in the Toronto at the UFC 129 Expo. First fighter I ever met. Nice fighter. We got to face off. I was 15. Wow. That's cool, brother. Old school, man. That's hilarious. Gary Knight says, I'm still on the fence about we called a brownie. Are we dead set on this? For reals, right? Right? Drew Casablanca, all right, brownies, have a good day. Back to work because what I've been doing the last hour is hide and stare at the live chat. Love you, dude. Thanks for coming. The Cleaner says, speaking of Brian dying on a hill, what's your MMA die on a hill on? I've been on this pro Tom Aspinall as to how he got cheated on Gone Based. He got promotion for it. Continues to cheat. Yeah, that's a good one. Die on a hill on. I don't know. I'm pretty open-minded about things. Die on a hill? I mean, I'll die on the hill that boxing's easier than MMA. All day. All day. Go look at the comments of my post when I said that. Go look at all these idiots arguing. You know? Nathan Johnson coming. How long are you going to stay in Austin? Forever, dude. Moving out there in October. Thinking that or Dallas? Yeah, see what's best fit for your family. There's awesome parts in Dallas, too. Capitalism, did you write your Tubi series? What do you mean, write? It's a car show, Bubba. That show, the lady says, I'd rather be a said OT than a brownie. It's a turd log in Spanish, but sounds cooler. Oh, I see what you're saying. Those little things that pop up. No, I don't write those, dude. No. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, bud. I hear you. I didn't see those till it was on Tubi, by the way. Yeah, no, that's not my doing, bud. Adam Smitty, just watch your grappling match with the BJJ guy. Metamoris, was it labeled controversial? Yeah. People want me like to play his game, you know, because he was like number one in the world. And I went in there just to shut it down to prove that he couldn't submit me. And people were upset by it. That fool Chris, I bought Busboys to support Theo. Yeah, go do it. And I saw Busboys was number 4 on movies on Apple too. All right, we got 5 more minutes. We're out to an hour 40. Capitalism, damn, they did you dirty. Did they let you see the final product? How's that work? No, I didn't see that part. They submitted it, but I have partners in it, and if Tubi had some notes on it, they want to do that. I'm not going to die on that hill. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes. Let's go, Phil. Are you guys going to put mats down so you can show the kid how to fold a pretzel? We might put mats down in here.
We got a lot of room.
We do have a ton of room in here. I love this place. Is that it, Chin? Do we get to the end?
Yeah, that's the end right there.
Oh, that's it, guys. Again, thank you guys so much. It's my favorite thing of everything I do. I could have kept going. Last time we did 2 hours, people were complaining. So I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, thank you guys, man. I'll show you later. Thank you, brother. Thank you guys for your donations. Thank you for watching. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. We'll be back Friday, right, Chin? Friday, 11 a.m. on the dot. On the dot. All right? All right, fam. Thank you guys so much. We'll do a Big Brown Breakdown live, the regular show, Thursday at 11 a.m. And then Friday, the live Super Chat, 11 a.m. All right? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for everything. I will see you guys Thursday. I'm out.